A good day to die hard begins in Moscow. Viktor Shagarin, a high-ranking Russian official, plans to incriminate former billionaire and government whistleblower Yuri Komarov in an imminent rigged trial unless the billionaire turns over a secret file believed to contain evidence incriminating Shagarin. Viktor calls and gathers in his loyal pawns, including a super sexy chick, in order to prepare and kidnap Komarov. Jack McClane, an undercover CIA agent, is arrested for a feigned assassination attempt. Jack attempts to negotiate for a shorter sentence by offering to testify against Komarov. However, Jack's true agenda is to help Komarov escape so that the CIA can acquire the secret file. Meanwhile, an ex-cop, John McClane, who has not spoken to his son Jack in several years, learns of his arrest, but is unaware of his son's job as an undercover CIA agent. He decides to fly over to Russia in order to help his estranged son. John makes his way to the courthouse as he walks by Protestants clashing against police because of corrupt authorities during the country's election. Welcome to modern-day Russia, I guess. As John approaches the courthouse where Jack and Komarov are making appearances, Shagarin's henchman, Alik, detonates a bomb in the courthouse, which allows Jack to escape with Komarov. The bad guys make it inside the courthouse only to find Komarov gone. John sees his son making a jailbreak and confronts him. Jack tells his father that he shouldn't be here. However, the two men's argument is cut short when Alik and Shagarin's men spot and shoot at them, prompting Jack to run off and make an escape together with Komarov. But John is not done talking to his son, so he steals a truck and follows in pursuit in a high-speed chase through the streets of Moscow. However, Shagarin's men use an RPG to get rid of him, which John dodges like a pro, but ends up crashing in the process anyway. John then tries to stop an incoming traffic like a madman and gets nearly ran over in the process. He then knocks out a Russian gopnik and steals his jeep. He then catches up with Jack, somehow, even with all the traffic going on, and arrives in the nick of time to save his son. John then manages to somehow push the armored truck out of its way and make it crash in the most spectacular way possible. Jack returns to fetch his father and takes him and Komarov to a CIA safe house. Meanwhile, Shagarin gets notified that Komarov has escaped with an American. At the safe house, Jack tells his father that he has been in an undercover operation for the CIA for the last 3 years. Jack's partner, Mike Collins, attempts to extract the location of the Shagarin file from Komarov so the CIA can bring the government official down. Komarov agrees to turn over the file if he and his daughter are given safe passage out of Russia. Shagarin's file is located in a vault in Pripyat, Ukraine, but the key is located in Hotel Ukraina in Moscow. As the team prepares to leave to fetch the key from the hotel, Shagarin's men raid the safe house, wounding Komarov and killing Collins. A shootout ensues, with John killing most of the henchmen who run in on his gunfire. The trio escapes and make their way to the hotel in Moscow where they meet Komarov's daughter Irina, who has been instructed by her father to meet them there. John is suspicious of Irina, and not long after we learn that she is a rat which has informed Shagarin's men where her father can be found. Alik and his men arrive and a standoff ensues. But it doesn't last long, as Irina takes her father hostage and demands the father and son to drop their weapons. They obey and get tied up. Irina informs her father that she turned him in for a large sum of money, as her life wasn't easy while he was rotting away in prison. Alik enjoys his carrot a bit too much and instead of finishing off Jack and John, takes his time and ramble on about how much he hates Americans. Which in return gives enough time for Jack to get out of his bindings and the two kill off the mercenaries. Alik escapes with the helicopter, carrying Irina and Komarov, but decides to return and fire on the McClanes in the hotel. But the McClanes manage to dodge every bullet and jump through the high-rise building and somehow survive the fall down and the onslaught of bullets. Alik leaves after believing they are dead and contacts Shagarin to let him know they've captured Komarov and that they are heading to the vault. Shagarin tells Alik to take the file and kill both Komarov and Irina when it's done. Meanwhile, the McClanes rest in an abandoned building where Jack tells his father about Shagarin and why the file is so important. The file contains evidence on Shagarin's shady deals in Chernobyl together with Komarov, siphoning weapons-grade uranium and essentially causing the meltdown in Chernobyl. Shagarin and Komarov's friendship fell apart and Komarov was thrown in jail where he grew conscience and decided to betray his former partner. Jack finishes by saying Shagarin is very bad news and that he has to be stopped before he becomes untouchable and commits widespread terrorism. The father and son duo then go to a known thug nightclub's parking lot and steal a car full of guns and drive to Pripyat, Ukraine, where the secret vault is allegedly located. However, Komarov, Irina, and Alik reach the vault before them. The McClanes arrive and arm up to the teeth. John has a tender moment and reconnects with his son. Back in the vault, the file is revealed to never have existed. The drawer with the file inside it is actually a secret passage to a Chernobyl vault containing weapons-grade uranium. Once inside the vault, Komarov reveals himself to be the true villain when he and Irina kill Alik. It's also revealed that the relationship between Komarov and Irina might actually be different than your typical father and daughter. She has daddy issues in more ways than one. Komarov calls Shagarin and listens as Komarov's henchmen kill the government official. The McClanes arrive at the vault, and while Komarov tries to act and pretend, he is very bad at it, and soon the duo discover Komarov's true agenda. Komarov baited and used Shagarin by lying about the file, as he was the only one with enough power to get him out of jail, and he used Jack for safe passage. Irina listens in as their father gets interrogated. Jack and John capture the former billionaire and escort him out. Irina and another bald-headed mercenary rush in to rescue the girl's father. A shootout ensues, giving Komarov the chance to get away from Jack and climb the stairs to the roof. John quickly takes out the bald henchman with a grenade, which is for some reason super powerful, and engulfs the whole room in flames. John tells Jack to give chase after Komarov while he goes after Irina, who attempts to escape in the helicopter and rescue her father on the roof. Jack makes it onto the roof and exchange fire with Komarov. Meanwhile, John makes it to the helicopter just in time and sees Irina activating the helicopter weapons and firing directly at Jack to assist her father in his escape. John attaches a chain to the truck inside the helicopter.
The shit we do for our kids. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
John drives a truck out of the hangar section of the helicopter via the open ramp. The ruckus gives Jack an opening and he manages to overpower Komarov. The helicopter is thrown off balance, causing it to run over the top of the building. Komarov watches from a distance with Jack. Komarov chuckles as he tells Jack that he will get to see his father die. In response, Jack pushes the Russian into the spinning blades of the helicopter, turning him into a spaghetti. Jack finds his father still hanging by a thread on the truck. Irina struggles with control of the helicopter and John flies off into the adjacent building. Jack finds his father still alive, but the building is collapsing. Mad with grief, Irina flies the helicopter into the building in an attempt to avenge her father, just as Jack and John leap off the building into a large pool of water. This is not their first rodeo. Irina dies and the McClanes survive. The film ends with Jack and John walking through the rubble and destruction they caused as they have one last father and son moment. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to watch more videos like this. Thanks, and see you again soon.